It was 2003, and a small group of us had just started a new magazine called Automation World. And we were a diverse mix, which makes for actually putting together a great new product. And then we had very animated discussions back in the day. One of the key words in 2003 was green. These days, it's all called sustainability. It's kind of the same idea, just gets deeper and more meaningful over time. And this was, after all, 19 years ago. And I went to my my boss. I was editor-in-chief. He was publisher and part owner. And I said, here's the cover story for such and such issue, and it's about green. And he went, you tree-hugging liberal editors, that's all you think about, all that kind of stuff. And I said, Dave, let's think about it this way. Hamilton, Franklin, Grant, the pictures of famous Americans on various denominations of dollar bills. So green also has to do with money and improved profits. And he looked at me and went, So anyway, we had a green issue, and annually I would do something about that as long as I was at AW. Hi, this is Gary Minchell, Gary on Manufacturing, and this podcast brought to you by my longtime sponsor, the really great people at Inductive Automation, and this support is discover a whole new view, pun, with Ignition 8 by Inductive Automation, packed with features for the modern control system like unlimited licensing, high-powered tags, and a mobile-first flexible design environment for all devices. Ignition 8 supports enterprises of any size. See all Ignition has to offer at inductiveautomation.com. And actually, I think the latest research I looked there, they had done a major upgrade at 8.1, and I think they're at version 14 now at 8.1. They've gone on what I consider an improved introduction cycle and upgrade cycle instead of a major thing that gets you all gone. Anyway, I've talked to many customers of Inductive Automation, and they like Ignition, and they like the friendly and equitable way of pricing that goes on there too. So this issue of this podcast, wanted to talk updating, not so much on calling it green, but sustainability. And some of that reason is it all began in November when a few of us actually traveled to Houston to attend live in person the Rockwell Automation Fair. And what they did with analysts and media and me, we had one day where we had several press conferences or media events, if you will, and it was a small room, and it was all broadcast live over the web for those that couldn't or didn't want to attend in a live session. And they brought a diverse group of senior executives and other people in to discuss different aspects of what Rockwell Automation had been doing for the past year. And one of the sessions we had was with the sustainability group. Now, what's interesting about this is the way, to me, when I look back, I look at Rockwell Automation and what's happened since Blake Moret has become CEO. His direction has really revolutionized the company, and the senior executive team. They were always very smart people, but they were all very similar. They all came up through the ranks at Rockwell, and they did the sales training thing, and they went out and they got some training in sales and some training in product management, and they went up through the ranks and increasing responsibility to become senior executives. When they brought in an outsider, they didn't tend to last very long. I think normally they probably self-selected out because they just didn't fit in. Not so now. We'll see how it goes, but it's been a few years now, and Blake has brought in diversity in gender, diversity in race, um, and diversity in experience. The senior vice president of software, for example, well, they even have one is amazing, but has a software background and came from outside Rockwell, and several other ones came also from outside Rockwell. So anyway, we wanted to talk about sustainability, and when they met with us, and later on a press release, and they've issued a major sustainability report that you can download. Go to the website at Rockwell Automation and look up sustainability. And it's a comprehensive look at what Rockwell is doing with sustainability. And some of the things that they did in 2021, expanded corporate sustainability team and function with additional investment and resources to elevate and align environment, social, and governance. Three sections, ESG, three sections that is now typically falling under sustainability, broadly speaking. They enhanced and expanded sustainability solutions with a focus on energy, water, and waste to help Rockwell customers achieve their sustainability goals. And a lot of the technologies and expertise that Rockwell has gone to driving these innovations and so on. They have, where's my thing? In terms of personnel, they've included appointment of Rockwell's first Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, new programs and resources, including a culture workshop and managing across differences training, upgraded employee benefits with a number of things, and a new global volunteer program called ROC, R-O-K, that's their stock ticker, ROC in Action, and paid time off for employees to serve their communities, dollars for doers. They've always done a lot of interesting things. They have a very interesting training into automation for veterans, the support for FIRST Robotics, support for universities. Those have been ongoing for quite some time, an emphasis on STEM, education, science, technology, engineering, and math, education, and so on. But a really renewed emphasis, a lot of stuff going on there, very interesting stuff there. And then I received a press release from ABB. ABB, European organization, strong in America because they had acquired a lot of North American companies into its umbrella. But it has released a report, Billions of Better Decisions report. Go to abb.com and you can find that. And some of this is a report and some of it is what ABB has done. And the report commissioned by ABB, the study, found that an organization's future competitiveness is the single greatest factor of adopting sustainable solutions, cited by 46% of respondents in industrial companies. And while 96% of global decision makers view digitalization as essential to sustainability, only 35% of the surveyed firms have implemented industrial IoT solutions at scale. This continues to show that I guess it's a gap, but it probably means a lot of potential for suppliers and integrators and people working in IoT, Internet of Things, which is a digitalization process of moving data, getting digital data from the factory floor or the production process or whatever it is you're measuring and doing it. Other things determined by the study, 71% of the respondents reported greater priority given to sustainability objectives as a result of the pandemic. 72% are somewhat or significantly increasing spending on industrial IoT for sustainability. Let's see, what else do we have? 57% of respondents indicated industrial IoT has had a significant positive effect on operational decision-making, something I've been pushing quite a long time, that you need data, not just to get data, not to populate databases and make the database suppliers more profits, but to make better decisions so that we can run more profitable, more sustainable, better enterprises. In this press release I got in the report, ABB is committed to leading with technology to enable a low carbon society and a more sustainable world. Over the past 2 years, ABB has reduced greenhouse gas emissions from its own operations by more than 25% as part of its Sustainability 2030 strategy. And they expect to be fully carbon neutral by the decade's end. And I think I'll cut that off there. This is running a little bit on. But I have a third company, and that would be another European company, Schneider Electric. And Schneider has been for a very long time, because both in Europe and its acquisition of Square D in North America, those are electrical energy companies. And especially in Europe, Schneider is big on power and energy management at a higher level, also of power generation and so on. And it's been long an energy efficiency company, sustainability. I have heard the CEO for years talk about this issue, and it's an important strategy for Schneider Electric. So three major companies that I looked up during the last very few weeks: Rockwell Automation, ABB, Schneider Electric. And that's not to say others aren't doing this, but these three have recently issued some news and some initiatives and doing some very interesting things about sustainability. And what's sustainability? I'm a lean person. I wish I was more lean, but anyway, lean, one of the very basic principles of lean manufacturing is reduction of waste. And I view emissions and a lot of the things that were, like carbon emissions and heat and energy and so on, a lot of that is waste. And waste typically means wasted profits. Go by any kind of a production facility and seeing all kinds of emissions and whatever being released, and smoke and things in the air. Well, that's waste. That's just money going up the chimney and out into the environment and so on. And I think lean says reducing waste, and part of reducing waste is being much more energy efficient, as well as more efficient with the way we utilize all of our resources. At any rate, I think sustainability, it's got legs. 19 years ago, we were calling it green and doing articles in magazines. There's been a tremendous amount of progress. And the other couple of things I'll leave you with, one is a lot of people sit around and wait for governments to do things. And what I see is, especially over the last 6 years, especially, companies, major global corporations and their leadership are stepping up and saying, hey, we can do a lot. We can do a lot for diversity. We can do a lot for equal opportunities. We can do a lot for the environment. We can do a lot that affects climate change, for example. And so companies are stepping up. And a lot of times that all becomes a precursor to the actual government, stepping up and doing something, hopefully something. I'm not a total libertarian negative person on government, although there's always, any big organization, it's always fun to sit and poke fun at them. And one last thing I'll leave you with, just for your personal health and so on. And as you know, I'm a big person in that. I'm a yoga instructor and a certified fitness instructor, a long time soccer referee, instructor. And those are all important to me. And recently, I've been a little lax on some of the things I'm doing, but I've had a lot of family situations. Had a close family member pass away due to COVID. Have another family, a little more extended, but close family member. Recently, a couple of weeks in intensive care with COVID. And the pandemic isn't quite over. I'm very optimistic, but I'm also realistic in thinking we're going to be with it for a while. So continue to take care in your situations. I've been to some conferences. I'm going out. We eat at restaurants and so on. But I also try to take care if you are an at-risk person with diabetes and heart problems and other things. Take extra care. Take care of yourself so that you can get back and listen to another one of these podcasts, or at least keep with your family. So take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Don't get scared, but be cautious and so on. And so with that. I'll leave you with that kind of a thought. Just a positive thing. Take care of your health, eat right, exercise, stay fit. Thank you for listening. This is Gary on manufacturing. And this podcast is brought to you by my longtime sponsor, Inductive Automation. Discover a whole new view with Ignition 8 by Inductive Automation. It's packed with features for the modern control system, like an unlimited licensing, high-powered tags, a mobile-first flexible design environment for all devices. Ignition 8 supports enterprises of any size. See all Ignition has to offer at inductiveautomation.com. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.